But if you want to do even more, keep watching the video. Let's first get rid of this. On the top left, you have the settings button. And over here, you see an overview of all the different settings. It is global, display, color. I don't have to read them all. Let's first of all focus on the aesthetic, so display and color. And later, I will go over the different settings. So first of all, normally it's like this digital timer. Now, if that's your thing, that's totally fine. But I like the normal one. UI design. I like material design without shadows. It's just a bit cleaner. I'll leave all of this to normal. I'm not going to read all of them because you can just like experiment with most of them yourself. But now let's do these right here. This is really important. Font color, white. This looks even worse, but just wait a second, guys. The background, black. Board color, black. Button color, not quite black, just like the one next to it. Logo color, this bluish hue right here. Link color, I do this light blue as well. This is already looking so much better, but just wait a second because under timer right here, we can actually change some stuff. I like to set my timer update in seconds so that when you're timing, it actually just shows the second itself. And right here under scramble, I like to set the alignment to the left side. That's just personal preference. And if you've done all of that, csTimer looks like this, and it actually looks decently good. This is a session I did earlier. It has 100 solves. The mean is 9.00, which makes me really sad because I was getting some dope times at the end. Look at this, 7, 7, 7. So I'm pretty sure if I did one more time, it would be 8 point something, but I had to keep it clean for the video. So more information is starting to show up, like the average of 50, 25. Now, if this is too much information for you, you can actually change that into the settings right here. Statistics, statistical indicators. You can select just these. It will just show the average of 100. Even cooler, you can actually set a custom one. So if you like these averages and you just like the average of 69, for example. Yes, I'm 25 years old. Then we have an average of 69 over here as well, which is sub 9. Woo! Now, something I wanted to show that is really important is the export button right here. Normally, your times get saved on your device itself. So if you just go away and just open it again, it will just, all of the times will still be in there. But let's say if you want to use a different device and just have the same times, you can actually do that. So if you press export, the easiest way to do this is either logging in using your WCA account or just your Google account. This way you can just export it to your account, and if you open it on a different device, you can just import it straight from that account. That's the easiest. Alternatively, you can either export it into a file and just save the file and use it on a different device, but this is way cooler. Export to server. We can actually give it a name. I called it Milan because that's my name. Uploaded successfully. Okay. If I go back to my other one right now, which was in a private tab, so it doesn't have any of the data, we can actually press the export, import from server. We can type our name, which is Milan. This will override all local data. This is fine because we know what times we are importing. So let's just press OK, and bam, all of the times are back on a different device. Now, the most useful settings will be here under timer. If you're practicing for a competition, for example, you might want to be using WCA inspection. Let's just set it on always. You can also select if you want to have a voice or not. This way, you don't really have to look at your screen. You can just hear them say like 8 seconds or 12 seconds. So you don't have to focus on what the times are on the screen. Here's a quick overview of that. If you tap the spacebar, a timer will start, and after 8 seconds, you will hear.
8
and when you need to start a solve, you will hear
12 seconds.
Just like in competition. This is a really important one. Entering in times with. There's like different ways you can time your solves. Now, if you're using StackMat Timer, you can connect your StackMat Timer. I will show something later in the video. But something I often do is just type them. So I will do times with the StackMat Timer. So you can type 8.69. But something else you can do is actually not typing the dot. So if you just type 869, it will automatically add a dot after the first 2 decimals. So this will be 8.69. This is a huge time saver. Now, this is a really important one as well. Time of keeping space down. A StackMat Timer, you need to hold it for some time before you can actually release it and it starts timing. I think the StackMat Timer is 0.55. I think originally it's set to 0.3 seconds, but I just keep it at 0 seconds because otherwise I might start solving too soon and then I suddenly notice that my timer hasn't started, and it's super annoying. And finally, I'm gonna share some tips and tricks, some of which you guys helped me with on Instagram, so please follow me. I post a lot on my stories. You can hide the average labels underneath the time by checking this one. Under global, show average label. So if I uncheck this, it doesn't show on the main screen. You can also change what these labels say. If you go to statistics, right here you can see it's currently set at average of 5 and average of 12. So let's say if you want the second one to be average of 100, you can do that right here. Voila. Under display, you can actually upload a background image. You need a URL for these pictures, but once you have, you can just press OK. And it will show the picture. You can set the opacity right here. To connect your StackMat timer to csTimer, you need two things: a 2.5mm to 3.5mm audio jack cable and a mic input on your computer. So plug in a cable to the StackMat in your computer and turn on the timer. Then in your computer settings, make sure the input is set to the cable you just plugged in. The audio you're normally getting from the StackMat is super random, but I turn it down a bit so that it's almost at 100% volume. Then I'm using Chrome because it seems to be working better over there. Then select the StackMat as input, and bam, you can use the StackMat timer as the input. It automatically goes to the next scramble, so you won't need to do anything. Something else you can do on Chrome is installing the app to your computer. Just press this button right here and Chrome will install it as an app for you. It works exactly the same, by the way. If you were wondering, csTimer works on your phone as well. And if you add a bookmark to your home page, which you can do on iOS or Android, as I show right here, it's just like you have the app and you need no internet connection. You can still use all the functions on your phone, importing, exporting, all that stuff, although you will find out that the UI on a smaller screen isn't great. And finally, there's a Google Chrome extension called csTimer Plus, which if you enable it, oops, I clicked on the wrong tab. Oh, what is this? The Cubehead page on the cubicle. All products 5 stars. Let me now go back to csTimer. Oops, another wrong